of orcs and dwarves to kill. So without any further ado, I think we should get to that. I did notice too that I had an unfinished tale last night, and I also provided a bit of misinformation in a previous stream. So in the spirit of my stream, I kind of call it the book of lost tales or forgotten tales, because I tend to just start talking and then get distracted and then I don't finish the story. Well, I'm going to finish this. I was talking about Lore Master and Lore Master pets on a previous stream. And I was saying how great the Lynx is. Now, I love the Lynx, don't get me wrong. The Lynx is fantastic. I like the one-shot ability of the Lynx out of stealth. And it's a pretty versatile pet. I found myself using it a lot around Estelden, that city in the North Downs, when I ventured there. But that was years ago. Since then, I forgot. The Lore Masters actually get a Moria pet. A pet that was only released with the original Mines of Moria. It was an upgraded pet called a Bog Lurker. The Rose Garden is raiding. Welcome to the stream, Rose Garden. We've just begun. Now Rose Garden, I see all those icons. Are they like from your stream and you're able to just kind of carry them over and put them into any stream that you visit? Or did you edit the Steely Dad's? She is also my editor. Did you edit that to be able to kind of spam Rose Garden little things? I just wanted to know, because I don't know if I have that ability or not. Maybe I don't. Anyway, so let's see here. We are just killing orcs for dwarf weapons and dwarves for orc weapons. That's what we're doing. So anyway, so Lore Masters. So Lore Masters now get a Bog Lurker pet. Bog Lurkers make their first appearance in the Lone Lands. We're actually going to see a couple, probably tonight. And no, it's just when I raid, this is what I do. Okay, cool. Alright, good stuff. So that comes from your stream then, like you basically carry it over. Noob streamer, just asking questions, never a bad thing, always ask. So yes, they get a Bog Lurker pet and they get it early, and the Bog Lurker is simply the most powerful pet the Lore Master can get. It hits like the proverbial Mack truck, and it does damage over time. I think it even carries a heal. I haven't played a Lore Master for a while. It's something that I kind of want to get back into. So, anyway, so that was a bit of misinformation. If you want the most powerful pet, the Lynx isn't it anymore. Some may argue it never was. Some people like their Eagle. The Eagle used to be the reward for the level 50 or the level 45 class quest for that class. And I don't know if that's still the case. I think you can get an Eagle a lot before level 45, but I'm not 100%. So that was one thing. Another thing that I forgot that I had started to talk about last night and that I stopped talking about, and it's something that my son kind of reminded me when we were playing earlier. So myself and Swimmeroo and the Rose Garden actually have 3 dwarvish characters. I believe we're now all at level 7 or 8, and we're just adventuring in Ered Luin. Just a fun little party. I think we've got a Guardian, a Minstrel, and a Brawler. So while we were playing that, my son actually was wondering. I'm gonna riddle this guy before he just shoots me to death here. He was wondering about horses, because we're all playing, and my son has a brand new account. It's his first year. Oh, I should have added him, but that's all right. He was asking about horses because in the new version you get a horse right off the top. It's kind of a wrapped horse whistle. You get one for free for 24 hours after you complete the introduction. So we all had these horses, but then of course after 24 hours they disappeared. So, being a 14-year player, I have a lot of free horses that they give you, in gift boxes and just from subscriptions and whatnot. I think I have a couple of pigs now, war pigs from subscriptions. But And Rose Garden has a few too, because her account is quite old as well. I think it's an 11 or 12-year-old account. So, not a lifetime though. It's still a subscription, so depending on interest, we either renew it or delete it. But anyway, so no horse for my son is I guess the end result. So so he was asking about one, and I said, you know, well, we'll only get a horse when we're level 15. And, you know, because you have to kind of go through the intro with, if you don't have any horses or the riding skill unlocked, you have to wait a little while. So his account really doesn't have anything. It's just a tester account. He's just kind of still feeling it out. His account, Alex's account, the Swimmeroo's account. So anyway, so I was thinking about horses, and that got me thinking. I started a chat last night about reputation. And what reputation does for you. So so we'll continue that chat tonight. That'll be a thing, because it actually does apply to Moria. Reputation actually has a couple of uses in there. It contributes to a class point. That's one area that it will help with. And you can actually buy, and this is true for a lot of locations as well, you can buy mounts. If you unlock them by having a high enough reputation with a certain area. So one thing I did notice though is that we've got enough chatters here, we've got enough people in the stream for me to start a riddle. So tonight's first riddle. Now I will say, Rose Garden, because of your actions last night, and you kind of had one answer that you weren't supposed to answer, you are exempt from this riddle. No answering by the Rose Garden. Okay, cool. Alright, even if you know what it is, you know, it's fine. Like, I know what it is or whatever, just keep it to yourself, and we'll see if we can get a solution. So here's the first riddle. No looking on Google, at least not unless you're totally stumped. But there's a couple of good ones that I have for you tonight. So let me just kill this dwarf, and we'll read it out here. Okay, so the first one. Many have heard me, but no one has seen me, and I will not speak back until spoken to. What am I? Many have heard me, but no one has seen me, and I will not speak back until spoken to. What are you? Or what am I? That is the answer. Looking for an answer. That's a hard one even for you. Yes. Basilla, you better not have used Google, girl. But it is the truth. Basilla answered. She got it right. Echo, no Google. Alright, good stuff. I think I'm going to get swarmed by dwarves here. Nope, I managed to sneak. Well done, Basilla, well done. What has a head, a tail, is brown, but has no legs? A penny. A penny? Am I right? Yeah, look at that. But thank you for contributing that riddle. I didn't really mean to solve it that quickly. It's just, you know, sometimes you hear something, and something right away just like click. You know, that was it for me. I was like, heads and tails, that got me. And then yeah, the penny thing. So I have another one too. I did the same thing with Echo. Yeah, it kind of just hits you, and then you're all set. So I do have another riddle. We'll save it for a little while when I'm out of this dwarf nightmare here. Okay, so that's 8 axes, so collected all those. And we got a bunch of dwarves here now. I think I'm going to riddle this one, and we'll get this one. Alright. Okay, here we go. Here's a good example of what we were talking about in the last stream. I was telling you about Hope and Dread. I gave a little bit of a tutorial about being raid ready in the last stream. So this is kind of a continuation of that now. You can see up here in the left, you can see that there's a little fire, and it says, your heart is heavy in the face of such dread. +2 dread. It's just this area, folks. This area is, it's scary. There's fires burning, there's evil dwarves around. This thing looks completely unnatural. Like, what kind of furnace is that that's blowing with green smoke? You know, so it's scary. So your character is scared. So you've got two dread on you right from the start. So you can alleviate a little bit of that. At least I can right now. I have this. Just gonna kill him. I have this handkerchief that I can achoo. Okay, and then I get 1 hope from this this handkerchief, so it counteracts that 1 dread. All right, so we're on the Overseer now. So let's get this set up and let's do him in proper. Okay, so I'm gonna keep him turned, and then I'm going to sneaky stab him in the back. All right, how am I gonna roll? Oh, I only rolled a 1. That's not very good on my gamble. Let's see what I roll on this one. Oh, ding, ding, ding! Rolled a 6. What does that do? That 190 common damage every 2 seconds for 30 seconds? Yes, please. That is the Blue Burglar, folks. And I have him traded to do more damage from a bleed. So I was kind of wondering, what's this Blue Burglar going to do for me? Well, I think I've just found it out. Where is this on the map? Okay, I think I'm just going to actually drop down, use a burglar tactic to not die, and keep running. All right. So sneaky, we got out of there. So that was pretty cool. I've never actually used that, like noticed what that 6 was, and I can really see how that can come in handy to overland bosses like that, having, you know, like 3,000 hit points or something. 200 a tick every 2 seconds. Yeah, you're gonna go down quick, so that's great. So yeah, reputation. I was kind of getting into that. So in Lord of the Rings Online, you venture into zones, and there are starter zones like the Shire, and Thorin's Gate is part of the Arid Luin zone, and there's also an elf part in that zone. So those are a couple of things as well. Look, we've got some Moramir the Undying and Saborm, Student of Metalwork. Right on. Okay, so we're gonna turn these in. I don't need anything, so I'm just this is a dwarf's duty. Iron, so we stole those from the dwarves. Enemies of the Eagle-Eye. Ooh, there's a shield here. Oh, I don't need a shield. I'm thinking of another character. Okay, so I'm picking that. This fellow's a captain. He's got a ghost as an ally there. He's got an Oathbreaker. And we're going to turn in the ones in here. So yeah, so every area you venture into has faction. I googled this one. Sorry. Okay. Oh, good time for a riddle. I'm in a safe spot. A doctor and a bus driver are both in love with the same woman, an attractive girl named Sarah. The bus driver had to go on a long bus trip that would last a week. Before he left, he gave Sarah 7 apples. Why? Let's see. Because Sarah's the bus driver. Is Sarah the bus driver? And is it like 1 per day? No? Okay. Then I'm confused. If you know it, Rose Garden, go ahead and call it out. That's good stuff. I will do these turn-ins here. So again, a doctor and a bus driver are both in love with the same woman. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Oh, I see. Okay. You know what? I should have known that one, because there was another one that we used earlier that the answer was an apple, and it was like, I keep doctors away. So that could have been one. So very cool, very cool. Thank you for that one. And yeah, maybe I was just overthinking it. Sometimes you can do that too. Okay, so dwarves with orc weapons is complete. Orcs and dwarves working together. Mass hysteria, that's complete. And oh, we completed another one. Let's see here. Okay, so that gives us more tolerance. I like more tolerance. Let's go for innocence again. All right. Defeat Angar Iron Gut. Dwarf interrupted. He's in there. We beat him before, so we'll go kill him again. And for this fellow over here, looks like a good night for riddles. So maybe I'll ask my second one right now before I go in here. So let's see. Orc interrupted. So this is all a play on. I think Girl Interrupted had just come out around this time in real life, and the devs must have been fans, because you've got Dwarf Interrupted, Orc Interrupted, Girl Interrupted. Defeat Nashrak. All right, Nashrak. Aflac. All right. So without any further ado, here's my second riddle. No Googling. Okay, try to solve it on your own. And we'll go. So here's the riddle. We hurt without moving. We poison without touching. We bear the truth and the lies. We are not to be judged by our size. What are we? read that out again in a moment. Just gonna wet my whistle here. Okay. Oh, Swimmeroo. Swimmeroo, you are close. I will give you that. So I'll repeat it once more, but if you know the answer, go ahead and tie it up. We hurt without moving. We poison without touching. We bear the truth and the lies. We are not to be judged by our size. What are we? And I will say that Swimmeroo is on the right track. Okay, let's give it another like 20 seconds. Rose Garden. No, not a riddle. Let's wait until I defeat Angar Iron Gut, and then we will it's open to the Rose Garden, right? Put the Rose Garden on a timer. And I'll read it out one more time as I'm making my way down there. Alright, because I think I know it. Yeah. Okay, here we go. So, here it is one last time. We hurt without moving. We poison without touching. We bear the truth and the lies. We are not to be judged by our size. What are we? We're getting close here. Rose Garden. I have a couple of mobs left to get. Okay. You know what, Rose Garden? Go ahead. Give me no, not the cover of a book. Not the cover of a book. But you're still on the right track, chum. Words. Yes, words. That is the answer to the riddle. Well done. And we are on our honor system here on Steely Dad 2021 stream that we are not going to Google to solve those riddles. So Rose Garden, if you did, shame on you. But I trust that you did. So, and sometimes those things, they just come to us. So that's pretty neat stuff there. I like that. So okay, so here's Iron Gut, and this is a good time because what it gave to me was the truth and the lies. Okay. Cool. So I need to eat a pie. And I need to eat some sausages. And then we are going to take on the Iron Gut. Maybe he's eating the same pies and sausages that I am because they seem a little on the heavy side. Okay, so off to battle Angar Iron Gut here. Oh, I can addle and I can interrupt. Oh, my addle didn't stick. Oh, but I killed him anyway. All right, good stuff. And then there's Nashrak. Nashrak, Aflac is the orc in the caves. We're going to deal with him, and then we're going to talk more about reputation. And for those of you who have just joined or who have been with us from the beginning, welcome and thank you for continuing to stay in the stream. If you're new and you're just kind of checking it out and you like these riddles and you like these Hobbit burglar adventures and discussions, go ahead and hit that like follow button, and it is free and we would appreciate it, and hope you join us again for more of these discussions. So it looks like Rose Garden has a new riddle. All right, riddle on. A murderer is condemned to death. Murder, Joe Kenda style. So a murderer is condemned to death. He has to choose between 3 rooms. The first is full of raging fires. The second is full of assassins with loaded guns, and the third is full of lions that haven't eaten in 3 years. Which is the room safest for him? I would say the lions too, simply because if those lions are still alive after not eating for 3 years, then they're like corpses. So that's my reasoning. Basilla got that like no time. She's just like, lion room. Yes indeed. Let's see here. So we just got to turn these 2 in, and then we're out of the IR Venus area, and we're actually on to Oscaruth, which is like the main hub here in the Lone Lands. So we're going to talk reputation, and then we're also going to talk Moria, because it is Twas the night before Moria, and all through the house, people are getting excited. Let me just share to you on this Treebeard server what a couple of these people are doing. There's actually a camp out going on right now outside the walls of Moria. Replying to Bacilla Landrum, you're too smart. SMRT. Okay, let's see. Dwarf interrupted. Great stuff. All right. So we got some more XP. We're almost at level 27. So they're camping outside the walls of Moria. And my own kinship, the tree on Treebeard here, dances with Ents. Let me just check here. Dances with Ents and see if I have a friend on. No, it looks like he's offline for the night. Threndanir is a friend of mine, an old friend. We've been friends for about 10 years here on Lotro, and he's the one who got me into Dances with Ents. And great little kin. Little is actually a misnomer. It's huge. There's lots of people, all different play styles. It's fantastic. Everybody's very nice, polite, and helpful. So, toward the Eagline, talk to Frederick the Elder at Oscaruth. I think we have like 2 or 3 quests. So they're having campouts. There you go. Twitch TV, Threndanir, yes. Threndanir, I gotta tell you, like I said, I've been friends with Thren for the better part of, I think it was since like 2009. And we spent many a lunch hour together doing the School and Library of Thamardane instance with another friend of ours named Dennis. And he had a captain way back when called It's Me, Dennis. So you always knew. And then he had Dennis the Champ. And then his minstrel was called Mick Dennis. So he had a lot of Dennises in his name. You always knew who Dennis was when he was in your group. So so Dennis was great. And let's see here, YouTube channel. Is that Threndanir's YouTube channel, Roseguard? So yeah, so Threndanir has a oh, it's mine. Okay, so if you wanna, hey, look at that, first time chat from viewer. Hey, there's my old friend. So Thrend, I don't know if you heard all that, but I was definitely talking about you. Maybe your ears were burning. So I believe my kinship made, I think they were talking about forming a line outside of the walls of Moria in the lead-in for that event. So, you know, just it's kind of like let's form a queue, an orderly queue, and yes, welcome to the chat, friend. So what a great old Lotro friend, you know. And Thren, I was just about to get into, Thren has what I refer to as the voice of Saruman. You know how Saruman's got this voice that just kind of like draws you in and makes you listen. When I really truly enjoyed his streams because I totally got that vibe. It was just like perfect background, like listening to him talk, and it never happened though. Oh, we never went through with the line. Oh, okay. Well, it was a plan, but there's still time. I guess we still have time before it's over. But yeah, so excellent voice, very very laid back, mellow chat, and I think he should get back into it. He hasn't streamed for a couple of weeks, I think. So I'm on that wagon. I want him to get back in there, and I need some cool new material that's not me. Maybe give me some eyes, or give me some ideas for some new materials. So, okay, so we're in Oscaruth now, and let's see here. And we'll talk about Moria. And there was another cool thing that happened today. I was reading the world chat. How did Armorer get 250 chunks of Khazad Skarn? Oh, well, Okay, I'm just reading the chat here. So Frederick has a bunch of stuff for us to do here. So he's got Earn Trust. Hail to you, Jubilost. I'm Frederick, Elder of the Eagleline. I know of your deeds. We are already in your debt. I am grateful for your kind words. They're absolute truth, my friend, and couldn't be more honest. What a great guy. So check him out, folks. Follow Thren and keep him in the streaming business, because I want more streams. So he says you've done much to assist the people of the Eagleline, and I thank you for your efforts. As Gaderick and Hunulf explained, the passage of Black Riders out of the west brought a shadow. So orcs came from the south. Then he's talking about half-orcs, then he's talking about spiders, wargs, Krebine. Everything's just gathered here in the Lonelands. Worth still. There's trolls in the Lonelands. We'll have to deal with those. Lots of stuff to do. And toward the eagline, we bring him news, so that's good there. Let's pick up these quests here. Book 3 forward, we'll pick it up, but let's finish book 2 first. And Hannah's Dream, Hannah the Young. Talk to Hannah the Young. If you're to assist us, then you must know what has transpired thus far. There's a girl within our encampment. She discovered an ancient relic lying upon one of the runes. We collect that which the runes offer, but she knew nothing of the consequences, as we have never seen a reprisal. Well, guess what? She got reprised. So there was something different in the swamp. Something stirred and frightened the girl, so now she has fits in her sleep, so we have to talk to her. So, all right. And Oscar to the Forsaken Inn. This is just kind of a, go on back and chat with the fellow at the Forsaken Inn. To Agamar, that's one of those quests that leads us to the next hub eventually. It's level 30. We're only level 26. It'll be a while. But we have to talk to Ariak the Strong and Agamar the Red Swamp. So those are things from Frederick. So Moria. I heard tell in World Chat that one kinship on this server, and I'll actually plug their name. They're a rowdy bunch sometimes, but I think their heart's in the right place, that kind of thing. They're called the Organized Chaos, and they actually are quite similar to their namesake. They kind of sound like a little bit of chaotic folk, but they really honestly, genuinely enjoy the game, and they are that kinship that I believe most of them are planning on getting to level 60. Boom! Like about an hour after the Moria launches, through a little bit of a devious way. I'll drop the spoiler later on in the chat. But they had a sit-in on their Discord channel. They were watching the Lord of the Rings movies and the Hobbit movies. They're marathoning them in preparation for the actual trek into Moria. So, what a great server we have here. The population is good. The people are kind. World Chat is not as ridiculous or as cruel as other servers. And we've got kinships like that make events public. Something I've never seen before on any server, including Anor, the other legendary server I was on, is that we have a server chat on Discord, and there are like several kins who are all teaming up together in this Discord chat. Now it could be maybe this was developed after I left Anor, but we weren't part of it on there, and I don't think any of the other servers. It was more of a competition, and here everybody kind of evaluates each other's strengths and weaknesses, and we all enjoy it. So, a movie marathon. That was one thing.
How can I be of service?
All right, so Anonymous People. This was the necklace that we found in the half-orc lair. So this was his wife's. Oh, she was struck down. Oh, that's sad. You've given me something that I cannot truly repay, but I'll give you something of import. So we'll take the Athalas instances here, or essences rather. Okay, so lots to do here in Oscaruth. It's a nice hub. It's if you're wondering where we are in the Lonelands, there we are. Okay, so we are now up here. We've gone all the way from Breland to the Forsaken Inn, up to Weathertop, down to the Dwarf area and the camp down here. And then the Ire Venus was here, and now we're here. So this is it. We're getting close to the last bridge, and some quests from here actually take us to the last bridge. So almost done the Lonelands, almost into the Trollshaws. So that's pretty cool. So we got Stanric and Tortwill here. Tortwill has 3 quests. I believe it's all dealing with spiders. So Plague of Spiders.
Might I take a moment to get
Defeat spiders in Amon Rose. Check. I know where that is, so we'll go there and do that. Elders in the Shadows. This is a little trickier if you're not a hunter and you can't do a search. So you have to defeat 3 specific spiders: the Runeweb Spinner, Runeweb Trapper, and Runeweb Weaver. And the Trapper is hidden. It is in stealth, kind of like a burglar. So I think I know the locations though, so hopefully we get lucky and it's in one of those locations and we can find it. And finally, Profound Losses. Destroy egg sacs in Amon Rose to prevent any more people going missing to these spiders. What a horrible way to die, I must say. That's got to be my worst nightmare. I just hope that spiders never get that big where I'm living. Fingers crossed. So through some genetic mutation, but I'm not a big fan of eight-legged spiders. So. Okay, and Stanric says Venom of the Runestalkers collect the poison sacs. There's 8 there, so we're going to be doing this. So all those deal with the spiders. Now, up here we've got Hannah the Young. Hannah's Dream.
I don't know anything.
So let's read this one because it's kind of, we kind of had a lead in. So Frederickson, he worries too much now that my sister's away. Ever since I took the statue of the lady, they have treated me differently. Even the visitor in brown robes treats me differently. They fuss about saying that they must protect me. I do not know how they can protect me from my dreams. It is true I'm frightened. Come the morning, I hear the swamp calling me at night. The woman makes the Nurbig in the swamp sing to me. She is trying to bring me to her, and that is why my sister left, to find her and stop her. She is a bad person. I know she means me harm because her songs sing of blood and death. It is the Nurbig. They sing for her. I don't tell anyone, but I can hear the Nurbig singing my name even now. She is haunted, folks. She is a haunted young Hannah. So we came upon the maiden in the waters north beyond the wall. She was draped in vines and tattered robes and smiled beautifully before she cringed and shook the water apart and drove us from the swamp. She cornered me, though, for only a moment before my sister found me, but I saw the hatred in her eyes. She means me harm and send the Nurbig to call me to her. Will you help me? Can you help me? I'm going to try. The Nurbig are in the east, in the blood mire, rubbing their legs and singing the song she sang for me, calling for me to come. Please help me. Please bring me their legs so I know they will no longer sing my leg. You know what? I've got to admit, I've been playing this game for many, many years. I don't think I've ever read that quest, like, since maybe year 1. I had no idea that's why I had to destroy or kill the Norbig. I didn't know anything about the connection with her and like an instance boss. So that's an eye-opener and no mistake. And we have another quest here, Oatmeal Problems. That takes us back to the End of the Forlorn. That's kind of a lead-in to the Ivendim area, which we'll probably skip, at least for now. So, but we have one more stop to make here. And we've been waiting for this, folks. This is the continuation of the Volume 1, Book 2 epic storyline. We found him. It's Radagast the Brown. Yes, Radagast. So he doesn't have a hat with a couple of birds under it, with poop kind of flowing down us in Lord of the Rings Online. He's a bit of a more respectable wizard. Looks a lot like Gandalf, but they may have changed him. He actually looks a little bit like the Radagast of the Hobbit movies. I never really noticed that. I haven't zoomed in. So, anyway, we found him.
Why come you here?
Well, I come here because it's Book 2, Chapter 7. The Eagle-Eye let you in, did they? I have been expecting you, though sooner rather than later. You have, in fact, taken your time. I understand you found something upon Weathertop. This rubbing, I do believe it is a G rune, a mark oft used by Gandalf the Grey, another of my order. I guessed from the description of those 3 lines, he was at Amon Sul on October the 3rd, not but a few days past. So I guess we're like October the 10th, maybe. I think we're just behind the Fellowship here. I too saw the lightning upon Weathertop and fear that Gandalf found trouble there. I have not seen him since we parted at Sarn Ford, so I can tell you no more of him or his travels. Of this place I can tell you much, but make reason of very little. Alright, so let's just take this shield.
Will you help me?
I'll try, Radagast, I'll try. So, the land itself is turning against us, and I know not the reason why. Even the shepherds are twisted shadows of their former selves. I speak of the bog prowlers, those that tend to the trees. Random question. You mentioned Weathertop. I did, Threndanir. What would you like me to know? Let's see, I'll just finish reading here. If I can discern what is twisting the shepherds, I may be able to determine what is fouling the land. Who are the dudes up there that have a deed associated with them? Yes, indeed. They are the adventuring pair of Floyd and DeWitt. I believe they are based upon real-life explorers. I think I googled it at one point in time, and I think the spelling for them is a little bit different. But yes, it opens up a hidden deed. I think I covered it in... I talked to Floyd maybe 2 streams ago, or I found them, and it opened up the first deed. So they're hidden. They're hidden all over Eriador, and there's one in Moria. I know exactly where they are in Moria. They're into Lothlorien, and I believe the deed continues all the way to Rohan. So they were added... I want to say, because I love the title The Vagabond. That was my one thing. I think they were added with Rohan. With Helm's Deep, I think, is the actual expansion. So the level 95 expansion. I could be wrong. It could be level 85, but they were added in Rohan, one of those 2. And I believe they added them all when they put the second half of Rohan in. Although I don't think it might be the first half, because I don't think they are even in the second half of Rohan. But it would have been around the 2013 time period, I think, 2012, 2013. Okay, so yeah, we found the ones they're hiding behind the stones in Weathertop, so you can kind of just sneak around. They're easy to miss. None of them are in obvious places. I will drop, because I mentioned Ivendim as well, I'm going to drop a little hint on where to find them in Ivendim. If you look at Lake Ivendim, there's an island with all the salamanders and Knickerbreakers. They're all on that island. If you look on the map, I believe south and a little bit west of that island, you'll find a pair of folks hiding on that island. So they are in Ivendim. That's the location for them. I plan on actually touching those points in the stream, so it may be something that I can actually get my mods to clip them, and then we can put it on a clip, but it's kind of a spoiler as well. I know my old kin leader did not want to know. He wanted to find them himself, but he would accept riddles and hints, so I used to make those up for him. Okay, so Radagast wants us to collect bog moss from bog prowler nests in the swamp. Okay, remember, I do not wish to harm the shepherds, no matter how confused they appear. They're innocent victims of the corruption, and they know not the harm they do. So, unfortunately, Radagast, bog lurkers in the Lone Lands is a deed. And there's a bit of trivia that I'm going to pose. That, Tren, you might know, because you played for a long time as well. What happened in the Lone Lands when they kind of made an early change for a deed mob. So we'll get to that in just a moment. So that's where we are, folks. We're gonna go do the spiders first, but I think Friedrich, yes, he does. He has a quest for us. Unfortunately, too, Thren, just as a final ad, we can't get them all. We'll have to wait, of course, because even the deeds are kind of weird as well. There's a deed part 1, and then there's a deed part 2. It's actually called part 2. And they kind of mix and match areas, so it's not like part 1 covers the early zones and then part 2 covers the late. You kind of open them up. I can tell you this: they are in the Lone Lands, they're in Evendim, they are in the Trollshaws, they are in Forakel, they are in Eregion, and I think that's it. I think that those are the only ones that we can get. One of these days soon, when all is better, I'll come and spend the day in North Bay to help you with stream things. I appreciate that, Rose Garden. I really do. So. Oh, I almost left without talking to her. An offering of peace.
Would you do something for me?
Collect warg furs, collect boar haunches, because we're going to trade with these giant men. Let's see here. Great lumbering creatures near the road. The creatures did not attack and acted in an intelligent manner. That's the Earthkin. So we're going to try to collect these things to make friends with the Earthkin. That's the purpose of this one. So. And I can certainly help you with those, my friend. If you're stuck, I can help. The Forakel one is difficult. The Trollshaws one is also difficult. They are not in intuitive places. So it's they really are in kind of out of the way places. The easiest ones I find are the Weathertop ones, and the Weathertop and the Ivendim one, because they're just kind of out in the open. They're not hiding really. Well, even the Weathertop one, they're hiding behind that thing, but they're really not. Like, if you walk around the whole outside, you can find them. So that's something. Now, I had something else I was mentioning that I was going to mention, and now I can't recall. Oh, yes. Okay, so we're talking about bog lurkers. Bog lurkers in the Lone Lands. Well, when I first started playing Lord of the Rings Online, bog lurkers were not a deedable mob in the Lone Lands. No. It was something different and something much more tedious. So, I really should save this for later on once we actually get over to that area. But there's an area in the Lone Lands with a whole lot of ruins that are populated by wights. So that area there has special wights that are called gaunt men. Okay, there's like a gaunt men singer, and then there's a gaunt men. I can't remember what. Gaunt lords, I think they're called, and they're actually a quest mob for the epic storyline. So so we'll get over there after, but the Bog Lords used to be the deed in the Lone Lands before they changed it to the, or not the Bog Lords. The Gaunt Lords were the deed before the Bog Lurkers. So that was like, I believe they changed that about in one of the first updates. So I think when Book 9 came out, like Volume 1, Book 9, they made that change, and it was just because there are a very limited number of Gaunt men in that ruin. And oh, there, someone found the trapper. We are not the only ones doing these quests, so we'll just be patient and kill some spiders, get the web sacks, and we'll find those hidden spiders after. Yeah, so that's an interesting bit of trivia there. That it's like, you know, what was a mob? What was the deedable mob before Bog Lurkers in the Lone Lands? And you can kind of sift out the real old folks who have good memories from, you know, maybe those who may not have that kind of memory, or who just weren't really, you know, like paying such close attention to a deed mob, because deeding is sometimes a real pain to some people, so they don't want to do it, or maybe they just don't want to remember because of how tedious it was. But that is one thing. Okay, so let's get back to a topic that I was talking about earlier, that of reputation. So every place has reputation. All right. So like for example, like I said, the Shire, Arid Lewin, these Lone Lands have reputation. Every quest you complete gives you. Oh, look at the trapper! All right, we got him again. You respawn quickly. Every mob in the Lone Lands, or every quest you turn in, gets you reputation with the Eagline. Okay, so Frederick the Elder's people. Use a conjure on him. There we go. I got him. All right. And so with the reputation, you can get some bonuses. You know, some places have recipes. Some places have special pets for your lore master. If you gain enough reputation, you can get like a sparrow or other. I believe it's a sparrow in Rivendell. There may be another pet here in the Lone Lands. I'm not really sure, but there are a lot of rewards. There's certain abilities to mentor instruments if you're a minstrel. So that's another kind of reward where, you know, I think one of those is in the city of Estelden in the North Downs. I think you get mentoring the harp if you succeed in gaining kindred reputation with those folks there. So, and all of them, when you reach kindred, have a mount. So there are several mounts in the game. I ride this war pig because I made a pre-order, but before the war pigs, I mean I guess the reputation mounts were kind of a special thing. You really found out who put in the time to get certain mounts. So I do have my favorites. They all look different, and they all have different markings on these horses and ponies. So there's the spinner. Oh, completed the deed, Leaf Walker. Alright. Oh no, the ambushers are... Oh, they didn't see us. Alright, good stuff. I can pull him away. Yeah, so the last, I believe the last of the original Eriador reputation vendors to get a mount were these Eagline folks, because the Eagline did not have their own reputation until they did the big Lone Lands revamp. Hard to believe, but it's true. There was no reputation vendor in here for years and years. So they finally, or maybe there was, and they just didn't have a mount. I think that's what I'm remembering. So there was a vendor, but there was no horse. So the Eagline horse is kind of one of the newer ones. But that's an idea. So Swimmeroo, if you're still here, that is one way we can also get a mount, is we can earn enough reputation with, especially Meikle Delving. That's kind of a fun early one that you can earn quite a bit of reputation with. And the horse there actually looks like a cow. It's got you're up to about 35 mounts. That's a lot of horses, a lot of choice. So I'm assuming you've got quite a bit. You put in a lot of time in the festival, Trendenir. You know, I saw you were in Frostbluff quite often as I was leveling tunes, and that's kind of one of my own little differences in philosophy. But I know you can get some in the festival. I think I got some in the Hobbit presents. Every day you get presents in this game. They're free. They're madams, and in some of them you can actually find gift boxes that will reward a mount. So maybe we can get lucky, and all the rep mounts. Yep, sweetness. So turn in here. Let me ask you. Are you kindred with all of the factions prior to Moria? Like, are you just now waiting for the Ironstone Garrison and the Ironstone Miners to get like the next two? Are you a Legend of Eriador, I guess, in the making? Oh, where's that other skittering web? Oh, he's up here. Okay. So I think our last one, the Runeweb Weaver, is going to be near the top. Yes, all kindred. Wow. That is some Treebeard magic work there. Right there, that's a lot of work. I know how much work goes into that, so that is impressive. Impressive, my friend. Yep, and then, so the festival, we just finished. The festival ended early this morning in the wee hours, 3 a.m. The festival, though, the Yule festival for the year was over. There's the Weaver. There's the Weaver. I'm gonna stun the Weaver. Ask the spider a riddle. And, yeah, so I have a love-hate affair with festivals in Lotro. I do enjoy them. I should preface that to say, like, I do genuinely enjoy the festivals. There are a couple of festivals that are particularly my favorite. One is the Halloween Festival. I remember going into that haunted house again and again with all of my tunes to try to get the skeleton horse. Way back then, there was only one skeleton horse. It was basically a black and white horse. But yes, so there are several festivals. And the other festival that I really enjoy is the Anniversary Festival, and that's exciting because it's coming. It's coming up in April. Yeah, I almost never do festivals. I feel the same as you. So, for me, I'll get in the mood, you know, and maybe this happened to you. I'll get into the mood to do a festival, and then I'll do it. I'll do some of the quests. I like the ones in the summer. I like the fishing ones. Those are fun. I like to fish. But I'll do them, and then, you know, I'll do them on one character, and oh, you know what? We're done. We're done up here, so I can go back down. All right, let's just kill this spider guy. But I find festivals have one incredible use. While most of the game is away, it's kind of like a little bit of dirty work going on behind the scenes here. While most of the people are away doing the festivals, it leaves the actual questing zones wide open for questing. You don't have to fight with anybody over quest mobs. You don't have to worry about, oh, after you for ore, because all the ore nodes and the wood nodes and the scholar nodes tend to be yours because so many people attend these festivals. So you get the whole game to play with, basically, when folks are at the festival. And I've taken the opportunity during this Yule festival to get 2 characters to level 50. And it was mostly just because I was just concentrating, you know. Hey, Saborn waved to me, and I didn't even get a chance to wave back. Where are you, Saborn? I'm going to go and see if I can find you. Where did you go? Where did you go? I'm usually much more friendly. I actually need to put a wave shortcut onto my my tooltip. Let's do that right now. If you guys have never put a shortcut into your tooltip menu, I'm going to go into stealth, and I'm going to do it right here by this tree. Okay. I'm going to tell you how to do this. Let's learn with Jubilost here. Okay. So first, what you want to do is you want to push I. Okay. The reason that you want to push I is because it brings up all of the numbers, like Control A, Alt A, Shift, or 8, 9, you know, all the numbers are here, okay? So I want to put an emote in A+0, okay? Just give me 1 second, Rose Garden, and while my train of thought is, otherwise this will become a lost tale. So A+0. So now I'm going to go here, open up System, open up Options, go to the key mapping, discover what A+0 is. Control Alt. There we go. Alt+0 is quick slot number 34. Okay? So keep that number in mind, 34. That's where we want this shortcut to go. Okay, so just click accept and get out. Now, in your chat bar, you'll hit the slash button, shortcut, 34, space, whatever shortcut that you want to put in there, whichever emote. So I'm going to put wave in there because I like waving to people. So I'm going to go wave. Okay, and then you click, and there we go. So wave is now here. So it becomes a shortcut on your quick slot bar. So if I wanted to say wave to this skittering spider, I could click on it now, and it says you wave to skittering ruin web. So a nice little fun thing that maybe not a lot of people. I only became aware of this after playing the game for a couple of years, that you could actually make shortcuts out of quick slots. So there were shortcuts. So that's how to do it. Now, Rose Garden, you have a fun fact for us all. What is that fun fact? You tell us that fact. On this day, in 2004, Spirit, a NASA robotic rover, successfully landed on Mars. Well, that's today's fun fact in history, courtesy of the Rose Garden. Thank you very much, Rose Garden. Much appreciated. So interesting fun fact. Where was I January 2004? I want to say... I don't know. I guess that's an honest answer. But I'm sure it was... I'm sure I was having fun, because that was 18 years ago. I would have been a much younger man, and... oh, there you go, 2022 calendar with a fact for every day. Well, every time we stream then, Rose Garden, we should actually plug one of those facts. So, yeah, and I definitely had a lot of fun in my youth. Have a lot of fun now as an older fellow, but yeah, being young was quite a great experience. Lots of good stuff. So. All right, so there's Sumian of Gondor from the Flatulent Flautist. That is part of Manbear J, one of our followers and one of our fellow Twitch streamers who I really enjoy. So that's one of his kin members. I'll wave over here to Moramir the Undying. I get that. Haha, Moramir. Okay, so let's turn in here. We got Stanric, Venom of the Runestalkers. Yeah.
Might I take a moment of your time?
Now, next we have to deal with the orcs. So this is Plague upon us. Burn the bloated corpses. Burn barrels of rotting flesh. And those are all in the orc area at Ostcern in the south. So we're going to go there next. Tortwill, we turn in this.
Greetings.
Just taking some generic rewards here. There's Manbear J stream, so Twitch TV Manbear J. He is part of that kinship. And hey, look at this! Level 27. We are well over halfway to 50. But unfortunately, the cap goes up tomorrow. So a little bit longer that we're going to have to wait till we get there. So, let's see here. Elders in the Shadows.
How can I
We'll turn this in. And
Greetings.
profound losses, your effort to curb the spread. I'm making a shout-out command for your channel. Alright. Okay, so we got this quest as a follow-up. Now there's another ring that appeared on the other side. We'll go get that one. Let's see here. Iron Jaws.
Would you do something
Warg
for me?
Paws. Collect 12 of them. Well, we have to collect Warg. We have to defeat Wargs anyway for that other quest, so Warg Paws it is. Manslayers. Defeat Orcs. Angered Tarkrips, 12. Dreadful Tarkrips, 10. And Master of the Lash. Defeat the Tarkrip Slaughterer. There's a... I'm going to talk about that in a second. Collect Orc Swords, 0 of 20. Well, we have to kill 22 Orcs anyway, so chances are we're going to collect 20 swords, so... So I'm going to talk to a second about that word, and maybe it's a little different to you, but being I like kind of wordplay and talking about how words sound, etc. And I've always found this. So where we live here in North America, or where I live in Canada, now I'm also a big no more wargs. Yes, no swallowing the Rose Garden whole here. No warg action for her hobbit. So. Now, I will say this up here. I do watch a lot of Investigation Discovery. We call it the Murder Channel. So there's a lot of true crime on there. I'm a big fan, and I really like this Homicide Hunter Joe Kenda show. I've been watching it for years, and it's truly enjoyable. It's one of my favorite shows ever. So when I hear about murder, I automatically ping to that. So, however, you know, I don't know if it's just me, but the word manslaughter, okay? Like, just that term, you know, like slaughtering a man, manslaughter. I find that more horrific than murder. I really do. I find it like a much more graphic term, I guess, you know, like you can, you know, it's an awful word. Both situations are awful. It's basically, you know, like, but manslaughter though, like that is just harsh, much more harsh than murder. But of the two, murder is by far the more serious charge. Especially you've got degrees of murder in the United States. First degree murder, which is premeditated. You know you're going to you know, do away with someone. Like, I'm going to murder this Tarkrip slaughterer. It's premeditated. I've been asked to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm planning on doing it, and I will. But and then you've got second degree, which may not be premeditated, but it's still just cold blood, you know. And then you've got manslaughter, which is like, I believe, kind of an accidental killing, or you know, killing, or say like someone gets beat up. You know, a person gets beat up, and they never intended to kill them, but they ended up dying. And like, say, you know, like they hit him in a bad spot or whatnot. This is, I don't want to get real gory in the stream here. The stream's pretty PG, but yes, there you go. So that's manslaughter, and I really believe that is the much more horrific sounding term. So, you know, let's just steer away from that topic now. Other than, you know, these orcs are kind of gonna feel my wrath here. I guess so. Tarkrip Slaughterer. It kind of just makes you want to take out your frustrations even more on that fellow, because, you know, slaughtering. I don't like that word. I don't even like it when it comes to animals. But I guess, like, you know, it's a reality for, you know, like slaughterhouses and whatnot. You know, we got to get bacon, we got to get steak somewhere. So, it's a reality there. But okay, so back to Lotro and back to Moria. So we are now approximately, I will say, probably about 11 to 12 hours away from the launch of Moria. So for those folks who live overseas, they're probably asleep right now because it's like 3 and 4 in the morning. But when they wake up, the likelihood of Moria being almost ready when they are is pretty good. And maybe if you're waking up a little bit early, but anyway, we're all excited here on Treebeard. I wasn't really, I'll be honest with you, especially with Trend here. If Trend is still here, we can kind of relate. You know, I feel kind of both at an advantage and disadvantage of this. So I've been through this once before. I was on the Anor server, which was another legendary server, and I took place in the launch of Moria. It was a bit of a mess, to be honest with you, because they did not have dynamic layers. So you basically had about 100 people still here. Right on, Srenny. So they didn't have that. They didn't have a dynamic instance, and basically there were people. Oh, that barrel just respawned. There were people kind of crowding the doors. There's a dwarf who gives you your first quest in Moria, and that dwarf was completely surrounded. You could not even see him. You basically had to kind of shoulder your way in there and hope that you clicked on him, because you couldn't see him. There were like 70 people all gathered around. Another tip I will give you, Threndanir and anyone who's following, who's also partaking in that launch, is don't set yourself to log in right beside the dwarf. The chances of you logging in, hitting your character, and then when you actually log in, crashing because there are going to be about like 70 to 100 people all surrounding that dwarf, is high. I would recommend going to the other side of Ekad Dunan, where you get the quest to find Build a Pony. That's a good place to log in. It's far enough away from the dwarf where you're not going to get booted, basically from the server. Oh, we've got a shard dropper here. Blue Gosh is walking around. Let's. Oh, he resisted my riddle. Oh boy. All right, this is going to be interesting. Okay, so let's stun him while I take out this one. So that is definitely a tip. You know, log out somewhere safe, not quite on the dwarf though, because it doesn't matter what kind of equipment you're running. It's the Lotro servers that will boot you, and I mean, all it takes is about 5 seconds to run to the fellow anyway. So that's definitely a tip. So I was part of this launch before, and I was kind of like, you know, okay, I remember when Moria went live on Anor, and we were all excited, and I was like, am I excited again? And to tell you the truth, the closer that it's gotten, because, you know, I didn't spend a whole lot of time on the server. I started the character, I got 1 to 50 after about a week of being here, and then I kind of took a hiatus. So I haven't really been part of the servers a long wait. Like, they waited 6 months for this, you know, so whereas I've been waiting probably about close to a month. And so am I excited now? Yes, I am 100% excited. I did mention early in the stream how excited some other people are and how excited some other kins are, and I'll give you a little hint on what they're doing to they're not so much excited about the content. And I can get that, because if you played the game before, you've gone through, logged out about 20 feet away from him, but can't play till the evening anyway. Oh, you'll be safe by the time evening rolls around, Trini. You'll be fine. Yeah, so there are other kins who are here, and they're here to raid, okay? And like I mentioned before, while our kin raids, it is not the main activity of the kin. We have a lot of people who just like casual gaming, leveling. But there are a couple of kins who are really interested in the server first breaking of the raids, and just to get in there and get your feet wet and raid, you know, these raids that have something new to do after being stuck kind of doing the same instances for 6 months. So what they're doing, and another kudos out to my friend here, because he actually was the one who explained these to me, because I didn't really understand. They released while I was away, and I didn't get the concept of missions, okay? So missions are something new in the Lord of the Rings Online. They're kind of little side activities that you can do, and you can use them to gain XP instead of going through the usual grind, going through a zone. A lot of people use them if they're playing on deadly difficulty, because some of the quests in deadly are simply too deadly, and you have to, you know, put them aside for a while until you can log a few more levels and then come back. But for the most part, like, you know, deadly is deadly, and some of those quests really kind of need you know, a few levels to catch up. So the missions are there as kind of a way for you to do this. You can build some XP by doing the missions, and I will go off of my friend's information here, because he's the one who is kindly providing it. You can do missions in one of 4 areas. So you can do missions in Trestlebridge. There's a faction up there. You can do missions in Rivendell. It starts outside of the House of Elrond. There's a kind of an elf ring that you'll be able to see. So you can start there. You can do missions in Gundabad, the expansion, the most recent Lotro expansion. Any level can actually go there and do the missions, part of that Gundabad expansion pack. And I believe there's a War of the Three Peaks expansion as well, where you can actually do those missions too. So all in all, you've got daily, you can do 10 missions per location. So you can do 40 missions a day, okay? Now apparently, one of the rewards for doing these missions is, I believe you get an XP boost. So you get like a 1 hour XP boost, or maybe it's a 30-minute XP boost. Anyway, so imagine this. You've got 40 missions that scale with you. So, you know, you can be like level 27, and the mission will be level 27 too. It won't be level 24, it won't be level 20 or whatever. It's on level, so you're getting on level XP rewards. And then you hit that button. You hit that, you know, 100 XP tome button, or even if you go to the store, they sell 200 XP, 200% experience points. So triple the amount of normal XP that you'd get if you were just playing normal. And then you turn in 40 on-level quests. Okay, so that'll get you a lot of XP, and I believe that is what a lot of the raiding kins are doing. There's kind of a little bit of a wager going on. You know, like how long it will take someone to get to 60. Will it be 1 hour? Will it be under an hour? You know, personally, I plan on doing Moria the old-fashioned way and entering and working my way through and eventually hitting level 60 when I'm almost through Moria and into Lothlorien. Now, am I missing anything here? I'm missing a bloated corpse. I have to find one more bloated corpse. So let's hit the old delete key. If you're ever stuck in Lotro and you need to find something, hit delete. Oh, there it is. Okay, so there's one behind the wall. Alright, I have to go around. I think if I go around there... Where is that wall? How can I get behind there? I think it's from this side. Okay, there might even be another closer one too. So that's a great way to gain XP to quickly be able to... Because in Moria, you don't have to discover any of the instances in order to run them. Discovering an instance is actually a deed, because now with the instance joiner or instance finder, you don't actually need to physically run to an instance. That's one of the major changes between like us old schoolers and you know, anyone who's kind of played since they brought that about. I believe it was in Isengard, so around 2011 that released. Okay, so those are done. Yay, we're done those. So we got... so they can all just be joined through the instance finder. So yeah, there's no need to kind of just, you know, run through Moria at all. You can just gain the proper level and unlock the some of the raids and instances that we talked about in an earlier stream are gated by level. So level 56, for example, is the first level you can run the Grand Stair. There's an instance called the Forgotten Treasury that you can access at level 54. And then level 58 for the Forges of Khazad-dûm, and then level 60 is for the majority of the other content. So, so they are level gated, but not terribly so. And oh, look at this, we've got a Worgen sharing spot. So you can just gain all those levels and then turn all those quests in. I'm not sure how much XP you'll get, but there are so many other methods. You can actually... I miss getting Muster or Cappy summoned to the actual instance. Yes, I am 100% with you. Although I do realize it was a pain. It actually made that Cappy feel better. You know, like it's like I actually have this skill no one else has, and it's useful. You know what I mean? So that was kind of fun. I will show you something that you can do. This is another tip that a lot of people kind of either, you know, especially if you're new, they don't really give you a clue about this. They give you one tooltip. And if you missed it, or if you just accidentally click it to shut, you'll that's it. You'll never know about it again. So unless you're curious and just clicking things in your inventory. So let's show you how to use what are they called? Destiny points. Every character has destiny points. You get them every time you level. I believe you get 200 destiny points, and they go into a pool. So how do you access this pool, and what can it do for you? Well, let me get to the safe spot, and I will explain. So, let's see here, Tornstones. That's where these creatures are. Look at this fellow here. This is an Earthkin here, Kekkonen. We'll be trading with him after. So, okay. So you press C to bring up your character. Okay. So there's us. There's Jubilost. Down here you got your wallet. Okay. Press the wallet. Right here, you've got perks. Okay. So you got get more mithril coins, and then you got perks. So if I hit perks, it brings up Destiny Point perks. Okay? So what these are things that you can buy. I have... off to sleep now, my friend. Thanks for the awesome stream. So informative. Thren, it was a true pleasure to have you on here tonight. Once again, folks, Thren's been my friend through many adventures in Middle-earth, well over 10 years. And, you know, we're gonna tackle those Mines of Moria together. So, good night, friend. And, you know, cheers. I'll see you tomorrow. So, this accelerated experience here, if I click it, now watch the bottom of my screen here. This is my XP. So you need 26,000. Now you can see the bar. I'm pretty sure you can see it. The bar is gold. Okay. So if you click this, if you right click it, you buy accelerated experience. There. Congratulations on getting your first perk. These are short-term buffs that can be applied to your player character. Well, now all of a sudden we have blue bar. Okay. Bonus XP. So it gave us 5,223 bonus XP. So basically every XP point that I get, it doubles up until this point when I've kind of caught up. So you can actually gain more XP. And you've got 5 uses. and then they cool down. So I believe it's a 24-hour cooldown per use. So if you use all 5, you have to wait 5 days for all of them to be cooled down. But you can also gain, get one every time, like every day. I guess you can get the one that's coming off cooldown. A couple other things: you can get burst of swiftness. You can make your character run a little quicker. Recovery, some hope if you don't have any other source of hope. Resolve, so morale, power. Burst of marks, so you get more marks from skirmishes. Initiate fortitude, so mitigation, gives you a bit of mitigation. There's different categories and some cost more than others. Determination is tactical mitigation. Burst of legendary experience, this could come in handy. 25% item XP for monster kills, you can use that. Tome of continual experience, 10% experience gained from defeating enemies is increased for 6 hours. And it says also grants an additional 5%. So you can basically get this continual experience for 2,000 destiny points. And it'll give you that 10%, 20, 25. This is another thing that you can do while you're going through Moria. Spend 4,000, get 25% experience gained from defeating the enemies. You know, if you really want to race there. Now I'm going to talk about that in a moment. Burst of resilience. Initiate strength, that gives you 5%, 3, 4, and 5% more melee damage. And a couple of other things. Burst of monster play we can't use. Skirmish heroism, and restoration. So those are destiny points. And if you haven't seen that menu, you're not alone. I forget about it every once in a while. So now let's talk about one more thing here about Moria and it coming out tomorrow. So this is the Treebeard server. We are getting Moria for the first time tomorrow. However, this server is a slow progression server. It's not designed... I guess to each his own. I guess I will say that. To each his own, because I've heard really good arguments for both. I personally love the slow progression on this server. You only gain 40% of the XP that you normally would while journeying through this server, because the server's motto is, don't be hasty. So you can really take your time and enjoy, smell the roses, and smell the roses in the garden, and and just take your time and venture through. Another bonus to this is, as I mentioned, I started playing tonight in a little small group with the Rose Garden and Swimmeroo, and it was their first journeys into Middle-earth. Well, it'd be very intimidating when they ask, okay, so how high can we level? And I say level 135. And we're currently like level 7 or 8, Like it really is a long trek to 135. So this server makes that trek much more bearable. At least it did until tomorrow. And still tomorrow, you're only looking at a 10 level increase. So right now the server's capacity is 50. Of course, it's going up to 60 tomorrow. If you start a character... Like, for example, we just started those dwarvish characters, and we get, we're level 8. It really doesn't take a whole lot of time if you have time to play and you want to take your time even, to get to level 50. And then you get to Moria and you get to level 60 and you're all caught up. And, it may take you a few weeks, it may take you a couple of months, it may take you, like, say, 4 months to get caught up, but eventually you're going to get caught up. And it'll be before the next expansion drops. So it's not doom and gloom. It's not like, oh my god, I have 135 levels. There is so much content in this 14-year-old game. I'll never be able to get through it all. No, that's not true at all. You can clearly level and get to the cap in a decent amount of time, even just taking your time playing for like an hour a day or half an hour a day, or if you want to be a weekend warrior and you want to put in 3-4 hours on the weekends. Plenty of opportunity for leveling and plenty of ways to do it. So as I said, it's not difficult at all. Yeah, you just have to kind of put in the time. So anyway, for those of you who are still here, thank you for staying with the stream. I had to say goodnight to a good old friend, Threndanir, a kinship member of mine on Dances with Ints, here on the Treebeard server. And if you've been with us the whole while, well, thank you very much for joining us tonight. We've been journeying through the Lone Lands, doing legendary quests here and there, getting chewed on by wargs. Oh my goodness. Alright, and I kind of bit off more than I could chew there. Rose Garden, don't get traumatized. in our tabletop role-playing game, we play Pathfinder. The Rose Garden was actually swallowed whole by a warg. She was a halfling, so she was smaller than the warg, and the warg actually had her in its gullet, I guess, down the old hatch before we were able to defeat it and cut it out. Or her actual questing partners were anyway. I was the one who was the warg. So GMing that game. So, yeah, so journeying through the Lowlands, telling stories, talking about Moria and how everybody's excited. Poor Dom and Basila. Absolutely. And, you know, that's another one of our hobbies here with, like, the Lord of the Rings Online stream is something that's new to me. It was just kind of a labor of love. I really felt like I had a lot to say. And I had a lot of experience, and I really like passing experience on, and, you know, maybe kind of being one of those "did you know," kind of fellows, and not in a matter of fact way, just like a teacher's way. I do miss teaching. I work at a different job now, but I do miss my teaching days, and maybe you can pick that up from the stream. I enjoy teaching and passing on information, so. Anyway, welcome to the stream. We're going on an hour and a half, and we're at 10:30. Probably do these quests and then do some turn-ins, and then we'll see where we're at. So tomorrow, just a final kind of plug before, you know, if you're thinking, okay, well, this might be a good time to head out. Before you go, I will be streaming live from the Moria. The Moria gates when Moria opens tomorrow. Hopefully I can get kind of a good vantage point, and hopefully I can be one of the first 100 people into the server, or at least early in the queue. So once I do get in the server, you know, you can actually see all these people and how many people are going to be at the Moria gates. So that's going to start most likely between 10:30 and 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow morning. So be sure to catch that one. I'm going to be playing on my my fully grown burglar, which is my main character. Who knows about Jublos though? Jublos is a fun character to play. I'm pretty happy about him. So I'm going to be playing on my main burglar and going to try to work my way through these quests and talk my way through it, and maybe you'll kind of get an inkling on the excitement of something releasing live. You know, kind of that's something that a lot of us didn't experience for a whole lot of years. I know, you know, as you can tell, I speak about this game and I have a lot of passion for this game. It's taken me through some really great times. It's also nursed me through some tough times in my life. It's been kind of a steady thing, and it's always great to come back to. But other players tend to, if they leave and then they don't come back for years. I think the longest hiatus I've taken is a couple of years, so that's the truth. When I came back, it wasn't a whole new game. It just so happened that things were just slightly different, so I was able to kind of pick up on them relatively quickly. So, but others are kind of like, you know, they get to a certain point, and things just get overwhelming. Like, I can totally understand too. Like when Rohan came out, they lost a lot of players. Why? Because Rohan introduced what we were all excited for. We were so excited for the concept of war steeds, okay, and fighting from horseback. That's still a thing, folks. So Rose Garden, Swimmeroo, you know, a little bit of a fun fact here. When we reach level 75, I believe it is, you know, 75, and the Rohan expansion comes out, which is probably in another year and a half. You can fight on horseback, like it's a full combat thing. Now, just hold your horses, because it's not all it's cracked up to be. Mounted combat, as it's referred to, lost Lotro. Sorry, must have missed something. So mounted combat lost a whole lot of players. It came out, and only some classes were actually blessed with decent damage from the horse. from horseback, where other players were basically like, okay, I'm gonna go and I'm just gonna jump off my horse and I'll start fighting because I do far more damage that way than I do from my horseback. So you hear me, minstrels? I'm talking directly at you. So that's a fact. So luckily for me back then, my main was a captain, and when I first took my captain through Rohan, I had a captain and a guardian who I pretty much played equally. My captain was so overpowered with the Rohan expansion that I could solo any warband that introduced warbands, kind of roving mobs that you hunted down, and when you got them, you got a gift box, and then you could get items out of it. So I could solo any warband in the game on my captain. It was pretty epic, and it was just a true pleasure. But other classes, not so much. It was terrifying. It was like horrifying for them to feel so helpless from horseback, and just get off and just do your normal skill set. So that's one thing. So as I was saying, it's just people leave and people come back. So being able to experience this launch again and being part of it is just it's extremely exciting. It's just exciting to be something. It's almost like Christmas for this server. Everybody's talking about it. We've had one fellow in the globe, like the world chat, say, let me in. Let's all storm the walls of Moria. They can't keep us all out for forever. And he's really into it. He just really wants to go. Let me in. Let me in. So it's a kind of a real fun level of excitement, and it's finally gonna happen. So we're excited about that. So for those who just joined, or for those who have been here, welcome to the stream, and thank you for being part of it. If you're new here, go ahead and say something, and hit the follow button if you like what you're seeing. It's a whole lot of chat here and a whole lot of burgling on the Treebeard server, and we've talked about a number of things tonight. We've talked about the adventures of Floyd and DeWitt, a hidden pair that are part of a hidden deed throughout Middle Earth. We've talked about reputation and getting more horses. Not missed something. I don't know what happened. I can sing from a horse. Okay, maybe that's what she missed. My pig just ran into the wall. Yeah, and we're just kind of adventuring through Oscaruth. We're almost done the quests here, actually, and we're almost done the Lone Lands. I would say maybe about 20% left. So of what you need to do. I mean, you can keep on going, and there's quests in the north and there's quests in the south. So maybe we'll keep going in the Lone Lands. But let's see here. An offering of peace. We got some stuff. I'll choose the shoes. The follow-up is an offering of peace part 2. Deliver the salted meats and furs to the creature's leader. Okay. And Iron Jaws and an offering. Okay, so we've got some quests to turn in here. This was from the Bloated Corpses. So Plague. We got that. Alright. Oh, he's got a follow-up. This is Terror in the Sky. So now we need to defeat the crows. So 10 crows. Okay, that's next. And Well Prepared. Talk to Northrim at Dolveg. That is on the next little hub. It's just kind of up the road. They're just a couple of NPCs that are standing on a hill overlooking a truly terrifying area filled with undead. So we'll get to them soon. Grimdeal here. Rewards for Iron Jaws.
What do you need?
Well, I need a new pair of boots, so I'll take those. Manslayers. Let's just take this blade. And Master of the Lash. Let's take a hammer. Alright. Okay, so we've got all of our turn-ins going. Let's see here. Anything else? It looks like Friedrich has something else to say to us. My goodness, man. This guy likes to talk. Supporting our scouts. Talk to Quendrida at Dolveg. Okay, so we'll head to Dolveg. We have a mission to go there anyway. So. And let's see here. So we got Terror in the Sky. We'll go deliver the offering of peace. We've got the boar meat, and we've got the warg pelts, I believe, that we were going to offer to the Earthkin over here and see if they're friendly, so we can kind of make peace between them and the men of Oscaruth, the Eagline faction. So we're closing in on 10 hours. 10 hours till Moria. Let's see here, 10:38. Probably about another 20 minutes. So it might. I say 10 hours. That's a best case scenario. When I went through this on Anor, the servers were down for maintenance from 9 until about 11:45. So it took about 2 hours and 45 minutes before the servers came up. But now they've had some practice at doing this. We were the first two, Anor and Ithil, the original two legendary servers. So we accept the gift. And he gives us some quests. Pursued by the past, we have to go to Harlog, defeat some trolls. One called Galrip. He's a named troll in with those trolls. And the final one is our past in stone. Collect etched stones. They're carried by trolls. Okay. So, a bunch of yellow quests. We're not going to get to them. What we'll do instead is... What will we do here? And we still have Radagast quest for bog lurkers. Hannah the Youngs for Knickerbreakers and Crows. So let's do those 3 as we continue our trek. Now look at this. This is what a great view. Love some of the views in this. So over there, that is Garth Agarwin. There's a tower over there from an area called Garth Agarwin. And it's a location, but there used to actually be an instance physically there that you could enter into, and it was quite the long instance. It's meant for players who are about level 32-ish. There are 2 3-man instances and 1 6-person instances that you can take your group through. But it is physically located over there. Then you've got Oscaruth, a city over there. Look at the sky even in the Lonelands. Everything's always so hazy. And this is Dol Veg, so that's where we're heading to. There's some scouts up top there. It's a good place to scout. It is a hilltop, so we're going to head there next. I'm going to pull back here. And actually, we're not going to head there. I'm sorry, misnomer. We're going to get some crows, some nearbigs, some bog moss from bog lurkers, and then I think that'll probably be a good time for us to bid adieu until the Moria launch tomorrow. Yay. Hope you're all excited. I sure am. Even if you're not, like a lot of people I know follow the stream, and they follow streamers because they just like a chill experience, and they kind of want to, they for example, just like explanations, or they like lore. I try to give as much lore as I can here. They like the just hearing the streamer, talk about things that they may know a little bit more about, because they played the game, etc. But there's something to be said too about just, experiencing a video game, like an MMO video game, and like experiencing something at launch. It's a unique thing. You see all of these people. As far as I know, it's up to 100 people will be there, and all kind of just jostling for position and just totally excited that there's something new for them to do. That's just something that I'm looking forward to. So, not looking forward to the race because you have 100 people, fighting over one Krebine. That's a reality. One crow to rule them all. But for the most part, they've done some good stuff. They've actually lowered the amount of things. When Moria first launched, for example, one of the quests was get 12 Krebine, hunt 12 Krebine, and now I believe it's even down to 4. They've nerfed the quest, so you only have to collect 4. So that means like 8 less mobs that you have to compete with people with. So that's kind of a, we heard you and we're listening, and we're going to change things up so it's not as tedious. So there's a few of those things. But I'll tell you, there are some hunters, and you hunters know who you are. There are some hunters and ranged classes that are just like, nope, I'm going. I don't care if you touch these mobs. See those pretty mobs? They're mine. That's definitely the attitude that you get some of those. So you'll get to see those sometimes too. So, and they've got speed boosts, and they're just crazy people. So but definitely valuable. Don't let me dissuade you from trying a hunter. They are so much fun. It's just pew pew with a bow. I'm sure we've all played those games with ranged classes and how attractive those are. So that's pretty neat there. Now, am I missing nests? I am. I think this was my second nest, and I missed it. Yeah, so it takes all kinds. So I think, as far as Moria goes and preparedness, a lot of folks were kind of, you know, doing what I was doing today. What did I do today? Basically, I did a raid, but for the most part, I prepared. And I just made some last minute tweaks on my character before Moria, because, like, you know, there's only so much that you can do, and, you know, like, unless you want to be a total completionist and have everything done. And I know a couple of those folks in my kin. One of them actually said, I have literally nothing left to do. So that's kind of funny, and I believe him, because he's done so much, and he's stockpiled a lot of goods. But what I did today is I worked on crafting, because with Moria we unlock a new tier of crafting. We unlock the Supreme tier, so it's one level above Master, which is tier 5, and so we unlock that tier, and it also, because it unlocks a tier, it unlocks more available recipes from the crafting guilds, because the crafting guilds have special recipes that they offer in return for reputation that that can really give you a leg up on the competition or the game itself, as far as like making yourself some crafted armor, some crafted weapons. We're gonna take out this crafted Norbeg. These are called Norbogs here, but they're actually just big Neeker-Reekers, so from the mid-water marshes. So yeah, so I worked on that, and I got some reputation so that I'm actually at the level where upon launch I can walk into my guild and get all the recipes. So, you know, that's one thing that's going to help. You know, I did it for my characters who are gilded. I have a gilded weaponsmith, a gilded tailor, a gilded armor, and a gilded scholar. I think those are my 5 gilded, or 4 gilded professions. So, oh, and jeweler. I'm sorry, jeweler as well. So that's another one I forgot. So I got those ready, and so I'm all set for Moria. You know, Standing Stone Games they took over this game. They took over this game from a company, from Warner Brothers actually, who took it over from the original company, which was called Turbine. And Turbine sold to Warner Brothers in 2011, and that's when the game went free to play. And then Standing Stone took it over when Warner Brothers was about to shut it down. They actually rescued it. So Standing Stone Games has introduced the Mithril coin to Lotro. As you've noticed, maybe I have a quest here, Noisome Neighbors. Okay, when I finish killing these guys here, we'll talk about it. I don't even need to kill this guy. Okay, you see this little Mithril coin here? It lets you travel to this objective immediately. So that's a use for a Mithril coin. There's so many other uses for these Mithril coins. They're kind of in-game currency, and they're in-game... they really give you some boosts. So, for example, I have crafting recipes that are... Normally, and the way they used to be is, you'd have a crafting recipe that renews in 1 day. So it's a 24-hour cooldown. Then one that renews in 3 days, you know, like you got your 72-hour cooldown. And then you've got one per week, which is the big one. And they used to kind of be like that so that you know, it would take you a while to stockpile and to build up your character, because crafting really was super important back then to gain some really good equipment that would help you in the game. Nowadays, you can actually do them. You can do these recipes. And if you spend Mithril coins, you can reset the recipe. So you can actually, you know, outfit all of your characters with jewelry, the 1 week cooldown jewelry. Well, I say that, but it's not entirely true, because the recipes themselves still maintain their cooldown and you can't reset those. But if you need reputation, you can reset those recipes infinitely as long as you have Mithril coins, which is kind of an amazing thing if you're behind and you're like, oh my god, I've got so much crafting ahead of me. So that's one way to get caught up, is those Mithril coins. Another way is missions, because apparently a reward for the missions is something like 30,000 Craft Guild XP. So anyway, I deviated and I kind of went the way of crafting, but my whole point is if you're getting ready for Moria, that's just one of the things you might have done. You might have gotten your crafting ready. Another thing is just make sure you've got a decent gear, so you're not kind of really slowed down. It's going to be hard enough to kill mobs in the first place, so I wouldn't advise you to go out and make yourself a whole set of raiding gear at this point, because it'll be obsolete in another 10 hours. Endgame gear will be much different than it is at level 50, but it will help you to have decent gear, say level 48, moving through the early levels of the mines, especially until you gather enough material so that you can craft yourself some new equipment. So that's another story. So get yourself equipped, get yourself ready. One more thing that's truly exciting, especially for me tomorrow, is they're introducing legendary weapons. Ooh, look at that. A named warg. That is a shard-dropping warg. And I will mez him. Okay, that orc is nowhere near him. When I kill this guy, I'm going to get a ruby shard off him. Look at the coloring on him, too. He's kind of like a tiger warg. Those are really great markings. I like that. I'm not sure if the Rose Garden likes that, but I do. So equipment, that's another thing. And above all, if you're planning on leveling through the mines, bring some patience, because you're going to be fighting for mobs. It's just a reality. Oh no, there was a warg, Rose Garden. You can check it out on the replay. There was a warg that had like tiger markings on it. So I know you love wargs, so I thought I'd point them out. Yes, indeed. So now, for those of you who may, there's an argument here, and it's like, okay, look, I'm excited for Moria 2. I really don't want to fight these crowds, though. This is going to gross me out. I'm going to rage quit. What do I do? Is there another way? Yes, there is. It's called skirmishing, ladies and gentlemen. Skirmishes open up with Moria tomorrow. What a skirmish is it's a private instance that you can open up. Let's see here. I'll show you how to do it, but I can't do it yet. So you hit this. You ever send me another halfling? I haven't eaten a halfling. Yes. Well, you did understand its language. So you go to the instance finder. And there's these instances that they don't even show. They're in the instance right there. Skirmish, defensive, defense of the prancing pony. Okay, this will be available tomorrow. You can set the level. All right, so you got level 20 to level 50. Basically, you'll set it at level 50, and you can do that skirmish. There's a little bit of an introductory for those of you who basically just heard that and be like, okay, I'm doing it now. I'm gonna do that first thing. You have to actually go to. Look at my hobbit. He's too small to hop up the wall. That's sad. That is really sad. All right. You have to go to a skirmish camp in Middle Earth, and then you will gain access to it. So, all right. So let's talk to Northrim. Well prepared, he says. Collect boar meat. Collect boar stomachs. What's with these boars? Like, I know they're delicious and all, but then you need the stomachs for water skins. Wow. All right. And also, clear water. Fill the water bladder at the last bridge. That's another one. This here has supporting our scouts, so we'll turn that in. Aid to earn is collect valuable treasures. They're with the whites at Nandelu. So we'll get in touch with those whites after. Master of the Ruins, defeat the Master of Nandelu. That's his actual name. And finally, Walking Dead, defeat Dead or the whites at Nandelu. 08. Okay. So we've got to go back to Oscar Ruth here and turn in. So this gives me a good time to talk about skirmishes and skirmishing. Skirmishes they can be incredibly fun, especially if you have the right temperament and you have the right people. If you want to do them with other people, you can do singles, duos, trios, 6 persons, and 12 persons skirmishes. And what are they? They're little mini instances. You can either have a progressive skirmish where you start off at the beginning and you kind of work your way through an area and end up at the big bad guy at the end, and then you beat him and you win, and then you get skirmish marks which allow you to improve your skirmish soldier and do a bunch of other things with. So that's a progressive skirmish. Then you've got basically capture the flag skirmishes or defensive skirmishes, where you have to defend an area, and normally there's 3 outlets where enemies will kind of race 2 or 3, and you have to kind of run as a group or run by yourself to all these 3 areas, fight off a series of mobs, go to another area, fight off a series, go to another area, rinse and repeat, for about 4 or 5 waves. So since we're starting the skirmishes, we'll have all the skirmishes available up to Moria, which is pretty cool. There's even, I believe we'll get access to the Rift of Nerz-Gashu skirm, which is pretty cool. Takes you into the Rift, one area of the Rift specifically, and great music, great atmosphere for that one. It's one of my favorite skirmishes. So that's going to drop. So you can gain XP by doing skirmishes. You can even throw on like an XP booster, do a bunch of skirmishes. And gain levels that way. I've seen people just skirm the 10 levels all the way from 50 to 60. They throw on an accelerator for an hour. Each skirmish takes about 10 to 15 minutes, and you get 4 done in an hour. It gives you a lot of XP, so that's one thing. Okay, so Hannah the Young. Now we're turning in noisome neighbors here.
Oh dear.
Hannah looks over by the logs, casts into the fire. Okay. They're silent now. I cannot hear them chirping. For your help, I wish there was more I could do in return. Alright, so we'll take this, and we'll go. Alright, epic storyline quest. Bring the bog moss to Radagast the Brown. Another way, of course, that you can gain XP early, you can actually guarantee yourself, a good few levels, is to go ahead and do all the missions that are available right now in Middle-earth. There's 40 in various places. And you can do those, and once you're done, don't turn them in. Wait till Moria drops, put on your 100% XP boost, or 200% or whatever, then turn them all in. Boom, 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 you're going to gain several levels by doing that. So so those are a couple of alternatives to just grinding out the deeds. Let's talk to Radagast here.
You have returned, I see.
Yes, I have. You did well. This moss will help me to understand how the evil is tainting the Red Swamp. This is but the first step in determining what caused the shepherds to become confused and irrational. There is still more to do, my friend. It will not be easy.
This reeks of death.
This all reeks of death. Alright, so Book 2, Chapter 9, The Bloated Dead. Defeat Whites in Haragmar. We're going there anyway. We're going to Nandalu. So I can smell death in the moss as if it was plucked from an ancient grave. The stench of decay and evil is not a thing from nature. I believe the Whites are to blame. Whites are bones of the dead stirred by fell spirits out of Angmar and Rudor. The wars here long ago made Haragmar as ripe for Whites as the Barrow Downs in the west. Return to Haragmar, the swamp in the east, and destroy these foul creatures. If there are Whites, I fear there are other fell creatures haunting the swamp as well. For now, you only concern yourself with the Whites. Perfect, Radagast. I will do that. So, yes, and there is another thing that you can do, and especially this is important if you're a casual player. If you're still working your way through, if you're still like, oh, I'm level 44, 45, you can start Moria, I believe, at level 45 is when you're actually eligible for the legendary quest to get your legendary weapon. I think there may be some quests inside that you can pick up even lower than that, but I'm not 100%. But say you're just journeying around, if you still have areas to explore, if you still have to go to Forkel, if you have to go to Eregion, if you have to go to, say, the Eastern High Pass in the Misty Mountains, or you just want to do a bunch of Angmar instances and complete quests for those, you can level above 50 now. There's no cap holding you back. You can go do all those quests. They will count as if, all the quests in Eastern Angmar are level 50 at Gathfornir. In other areas, you're looking at like level 48 to 50 as well. So plenty of ways to level in case you're not ready for the swarm. I am ready. I am ready for that swarm. I am excited for it. And I think what we'll do is we will defeat the Whites in Haragmar. We're going to go there next. But I think we're going to do it in our next stream. So it's getting a little on the late side. We're going on 2 hours. That's the norm for this stream. So anyway, if you just joined, late, I'm sorry. We're gonna bring the stream to a close, but hopefully you heard a few tidbits or interesting facts. Hit that follow button if you enjoyed what you hear, and if you're listening, of course, hit the follow button. It will help me out. I'm pleasantly surprised by the number of followers that have joined us on the stream on Steely Dad 2021. So that's pretty incredible, and I thank all of you for joining us every once in a while and sitting in on these treks through Middle Earth. So on that note, we will return tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, whenever the servers go up, check for the stream. I'm sure there'll be a bunch of streamers, but we will be on Treebeard, and I only know of 2 or 3 players who play on Treebeard, so I'm not sure if Manbear J is going to be streaming tomorrow, but he might be one of them, and I'm going to be definitely at the walls, so be sure to check that out. Very exciting stuff. You can contact me if you have any questions about the stream, about Moria, about life in general. You can email me at steelydad2021 at gmail.com. You can follow me on Twitter at SteelyDad2021. And you can check out the old streams on YouTube if you like what you've heard and you want to hear some of the older stuff and find out where we've come from, because this character has traveled now from the Shire all the way almost to the last bridge in the Trollshaw. So we've come on a pretty cool journey here. If you want to check that out, check out the YouTube channel. Thank you very much, Rose Garden, for posting those. And without any further ado, until our next meeting, which should be in about maybe 10 or 11 hours. So thank you all. Have a great rest of your night or early morning or tomorrow if you're from across the big pond. And take care and good luck on your travels. Farewell.